Good afternoon. We are coming to you live on YouTube from the Hindustan Times headquarters in New Delhi, and today's big story is the farmers' protest in Mandsaur district of Madhya Pradesh. Yesterday, in police firing, 5 farmers were killed. This has rocked the state. The state government is scrambling to contain this unrest. Today, there is fresh violence. The district collector has been heckled. Several vehicles have been torched, and this incident has become a nationwide political storm. But it's not just in Madhya Pradesh. There are several BJP ruled states where farmers are protesting and they're demanding better prices, etc. Today, I am Dhrubo. I work with the Hindustan Times, and we have with us Chetan Chauhan, who has worked for many years and has reported from these areas. Chetan, our first question to you, and if you could just explain to us why there is such a farm unrest in BJP ruled states.
There are two things. One is that both the states are major onion growing states, and this year there has been a bumper crop, and it's been second year in a row there has been a bumper crop and the farmers are not getting remunerative price. And the second reason the why BJP ruled state is that after Yogi Adityanath and the BJP government in Uttar Pradesh gave a farm loan waiver, there is a hope for farmers in BJP ruled states that the other BJP ruled states will also follow Yogi's footsteps and announce farm loan waiver. So this is a big, huge demand. And the second big demand is that the government had promised that they will provide remunerative prices or government intervention for all major crops. The pricing would be remunerative for farmers. That is the big demand. If you see the central government's MSP, it is only for 14 of the 51 major crops in the country, which basically includes pulses and cereals, which does not include vegetables, which are the most perishable, are most prone to impact by climate change, changing weather, or extreme weather events.
If you could just tell us what, in short, if you could just quickly tell us what the farmers are demanding. What is their demand?
Two or three things farmers are demanding. One is that the government should announce a minimum support price for all the major crops, including vegetables. And, second is a farm loan waiver. And third demand is that they want a higher price for milk, because the cost has gone up. Because of the labour shortage, the costs have gone up in Madhya Pradesh and Mandsaur. One of the biggest demand was that 50 rupees per litre, the government should procure milk from them, which was also a demand in Maharashtra.
And Chetan, if you could just tell us, again, we've been hearing these reports of farmers' unrest, not just in Madhya Pradesh, but also, as you were saying, in Maharashtra. And now we're hearing reports that in Rajasthan also there might be unrest. I want to just ask you, how important are these unrest and how big is the farm and agriculture vote and lobby for the BJP?
One, agriculture, if you see in all these states, the farmers in Madhya Pradesh, Shivraj Singh Chauhan came to power in 2003, riding on support of farmers, because the government promised a lot for farmers. In Rajasthan, in Uttar Pradesh, in Haryana, the farmers backed BJP, thinking that the government will provide them benefits, remunerative pricing would be there, and they will get better facilities for the produce. So 60% of the farmers have, it is estimated, have voted for BJP in these states. And if you see the farm economy, about half of the India's population is dependent on agriculture directly or indirectly. So it is a huge employment sector for the country. And if there is unrest, it tells us that something is gravely wrong with the sector.
For our viewers who are just joining us, we are coming to you live from Hindustan Times, and we're talking about the big news of today, the farmers' unrest. There are protests in Madhya Pradesh, Mandsaur. 5 people died yesterday. Today there's more violence, but there are also snowballing protests in Maharashtra and in Rajasthan. We're asking, why is this farmers' unrest? Who is going to be affected by it? And how badly is this going to affect the BJP? We have with us our Deputy National Editor of Hindustan Times, Chetan Chauhan. If you have questions or comments, keep commenting in the comment section. If you like this, keep watching it, sharing it, and we'll be happy to take your questions. But before that, Chetan, this has also become a big political issue, right, in these states. And the Congress is, if you could tell us a little bit about how this has become a political game.
No, farmers and rural economy has always been a big political sector. If you could see in 1971 when Indira Gandhi gave this slogan, Garibi Hatao. So it was primarily on the rural economy, farmers. And if you see in the last 60-70 years, a large number of leaders in the Indian system has come from the farm sector. Bahuguna was there and others have been there. So it has been a one sector which after the first few years of Green Revolution, which majorly benefited farmers in Punjab and Haryana,
Right.
other farmers have not benefited. If you see Uttar Pradesh, about 80% of people there are dependent on agriculture. Bihar, it's about 90%. Madhya Pradesh, 70 to 80% is dependent on agriculture. And people have become aspirational. They want better. They want to say that if you produce increase is there about 20% or 30%, why they are not getting the price? So politically they want, because when they go in elections, BJP in the manifesto in Madhya Pradesh had promised so much that the prices will double. We'll provide this, we'll provide that. But the farmer on ground is seeing that he's not getting the benefits which the government have promised.
Right.
And I don't think that any government, maybe it Congress, maybe any political party, BJP, can have an economic policy for farmers, which is, I think, wrong.
Yeah.
Farm loan waiver, I don't think is the prudent economic policy, because amount of money, if you see in these three states, UP, it was 36,000 crores. In Madhya Pradesh, it would be about 40,000 crores. In Maharashtra, it will also be about 50,000 crores. So huge amount of money going out of the fiscal system into the banks. Basically, you are recapitalizing the banks through the system. The farmers are not benefit directly. If this amount of money is put into infrastructure, which can help the farmers in long term, I think the benefit will be much more. But political parties, as you see,
Chetan,
they look at short term benefits.
Electoral gains.
Yeah.
Chetan, then tell us something. Do you think, and this is something that you were telling me yesterday also, how farm loan waiver, but in Madhya Pradesh and in Maharashtra, they are somehow, maybe not being able to sort of. Do you think the BJP's this sort of dichotomy on farm loan waiver is hurting them? Because some central ministers are saying, oh, farm loan waiver koi madad nahi karta, but the state governments are.
No, they are, I think, caught in a catch-22 situation on farm loan waiver. Because the central government said that, no, we are not going to give it. The UPA gave the biggest farm loan waiver of about 70,000 crores in the first term. But they are saying, no, it's for the state governments to give. If the state government like Madhya Pradesh or Maharashtra give farm loan waiver, it will be a huge dent on the fiscal.
On the state's fiscal.
And the money for infrastructure will not be there. So it is not easy for these state governments to give farm loan waiver.
Right.
So it is a catch-22 situation, because there is no clarity in policy of BJP that they want to push farm loan waivers or not. And the state governments are caught in a bind that how do they give a farm loan waiver when the financial position is so poor.
Right. Just for our viewers who are joining us now, we are coming to you from Hindustan Times, and we're talking about the big news of today, the farmer protests in Madhya Pradesh's Mandsaur. 5 people died yesterday. Today there's fresh violence. There are also protests now in Maharashtra and Rajasthan. We're talking with HT's Deputy National Editor Chetan Chauhan to find out the exact politics and the dynamics behind these farm loan, behind the farmer crisis. If you have questions or comments, keep commenting, keep asking us. We'll be happy to take your questions. Chetan, I think one question that a lot of us have is with Madhya Pradesh. This is considered a BJP bastion, has been in power. Shivraj Singh Chauhan has been in power for 3 straight terms now. Elections are due next year. Do you think there'll be any impact? There'll be an impact of the unrest?
There should be an impact of the unrest, provided the Congress is able to benefit. In Madhya Pradesh, I see the Congress is rudderless. It does not have that sort of leadership which can drive the cadre and get maximum benefit from this sort of unrest. And one interesting angle of Mandsaur is that the agitation were by patidars.
Right.
Patidars, and the support they are getting from Hardik Patel in Gujarat is something to see. So whether Hardik join hand with Congress in the Gujarat elections this year may have implications for Madhya Pradesh next year.
Yeah. And I think one last question that we have is, Chetan, for a lot of us who sort of have grown up seeing these sort of crises one year after another, some year drought, some year, as you were saying, there is an excess of production. What is the way forward? Does any government have a long-term policy or any solution to ensure that more farmers don't die, there are not more farm suicides?
Solutions are there. You have to understand that the farm agriculture is a state subject, it's not a central subject.
Right.
Planning Commission earlier, now Niti Aayog, has given a slew of measures which should be done. One of the biggest reform has to happen in the local mandis.